is here. I don't even know how good the microphones are picking anything up, but this is going to be a little bit of a day in the life. Now, it is currently 5:33 a.m. and we are doing the most important thing to start the day, which is make coffee. It's Monday. We're kicking off today, and I wanted to film one of these day in the life vlogs for quite a while, and I wanted to put it on YouTube because I set myself a goal this year of building my YouTube up, and with that actually comes filming. I kept saying, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. And I have my camera sit on my desk pretty much every single day right next to me. And lately I've been using it for fuck all. And before anyone asks, yes, I am having instant coffee with creatine. Will this make me shit myself? Potentially. But I've been doing it for quite a while now. 20 grams of creatine, 2 tablespoons of the cheapest instant coffee you can find. And yeah, that's how I start my day. It's not for everybody. Today I wanted to bring everyone along. Mondays are one of my check-in days. So I normally do client check-ins on Monday, Thursday, Friday. As it stands at the moment, just depends upon demand and what days people actually need to be able to be checking in. And I also then go and do, well, as of last week, I can't say it's like a regular thing, but it is something that I do want to become regular. I go and do a track session. So you're going to be coming along for that as well. And basically anything else we have to get up to today. Perfect. Now, I don't just start my day with that. I do actually have breakfast. Or, I guess you could call it breakfast. I get all my morning vitamins sorted. So over morning I have fish oil, vitamin D, ubiquinol. This is one of the most expensive supplements I've ever bought in my fucking life. It's like $300. Arginia extract, Arginia bark. And then normally I would also take vitamin B and a multivitamin, but I've run out and I just haven't bothered to order them. And then also have methylene blue and SLUP 332. Both of those are peptides. SLU is the peptide. Methylene blue, I don't actually know what category it falls under. It helps with mitochondrial function, which, if you don't know what mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Biology 101. Basically, it helps my brain. Now, as an ADHD kitty, which actually, saying that, I do also have a Dexy first thing in the morning. So normally I combine my coffee and a Dexy, and that just really gets the brain going. Especially at the moment, as I said, it's about 5:30 in the morning. What I normally do nowadays, my current schedule is I get straight up, come down here, sort this out, make my breakfast shake, and then I get straight up onto my computer. And it just allows me to get my day started, rip straight into what I need to be getting done for the day. And then I break the day up now by then taking King Samuel for a stroll. Whereas previously, when I was on the Goldie, I would get up first thing, go straight for a stroll, and then I would come back and start my day, and I'd kind of just work through. But that would then have me working for like, 4, 5, 6 hours straight, just sitting there. And I found that like by the back end of that, I just wasn't as productive. So for me now, I get up, I come downstairs, I do all this, I get straight on my computer, work for a few hours, then go for a stroll, in the sun, all the good things that we want. And then I keep going back and doing more work, and it just like, my brain is firing way better. I'm way more like productive throughout my mornings. And it also just breaks the day up a little bit easier as well. It does help that we actually have a backyard here, whereas on the Gold Coast we didn't have a backyard. So Sammy had nowhere to go to the toilet. So he does have somewhere to go to the toilet now, which means I don't need to take him first thing. My breakfast shake is super, super easy. Protein, oats, chia seeds, walnuts, and I have to say thank you, Kiva, because I'm borrowing your walnuts. I'll replace them. Zimmel, because lactose intolerance. I'm actually not lactose intolerant. I can drink milk. The only thing is I get like a really horrible side effect of my back just breaks out really badly. So if I have too much milk, like normal milk, my back just breaks out, and it's not comfortable. But I don't shit myself. So it's like way up the costs. And then bananas, sugar-free maple syrup just for taste more than anything. There's no calories in it, so it's whatever. This is the same shake, or a variation of the same shake, that I've essentially had for the better part of 3-4 years now. I always kind of come back to it just because it's super quick and easy. It ticks a lot of boxes for micronutrient content. So having the walnuts, having the chia seeds, having the oats, protein, bananas, like we're ticking a lot of boxes for micronutrients first thing in the day. We're getting really good healthy fats in from the seeds and nuts. We're getting really good amounts of fiber, both soluble and insoluble. So chia seeds are actually really beneficial because what they do have, Samuel, out, is they have this like multi-purpose benefit where they can either help speed up digestion if you are constipated, or they can actually help slow digestion down if you have the runs. Not only that, but they have like a whole range of other benefits as well. So yeah, they're really good. Oats is just, you need to be getting some form of whole grains in your day. Plus it's a good source of fiber. Bananas, again, like everybody knows the benefits of bananas, but potassium, carbs, a few other micronutrients kicking around in there. We love that. Protein's protein. We all know the benefits of protein. And yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. I have the same thing every single day. Ticks the boxes, nice and easy. Starts the day off strong, and it also means that I'm not fucking around having to cook or anything like that. I just straight up make this, take it upstairs, drink it throughout the morning as I'm working, and keep the day rolling as I need to. I'm a very routine-based person, so for me, if I have to I did go through a phase where I was cooking breakfast every single morning, and it was fine. Like I made it work, but it was then starting to take away from my schedule. Anyone who knows me knows that if something takes away from my schedule, I very much struggle with that. Is that a touch of the tism? Probably. But that's fine. We all have our thing. So, we're up in the office now, getting ready to start the day. First things first that I do every single day is write. So basically what I'll do is I will sit down and I will write out my intention for the day. I'll write out 3 points of gratitude, and then I write out my daily wins, or tasks in other words. I changed the wording from tasks to wins just for like a little bit of a better positive connotation around it. And honestly, I found that it actually helps. Instead of me sitting there dreading and being like, oh, you know, I gotta go get all this stuff done, it actually changes the thought process from like, I have to do it, to I get to do it because I actually win when I finish it. So I'm gonna get stuck into this. I'll finish this up and then basically rip straight into check-ins for the morning. Very keen to see how the team is doing and what they've been up to. Honestly, it's pretty boring, so I'm probably not going to film too much of it. It's just me talking to a computer and reading some forms, watching videos, and doing all the rest of it. But stick around. So we got Kiva. Kiva, for those of you who don't know, you should know. He's my housemate, and I also coach him, and I've coached him for plenty of years at the moment. And we're just kind of running through. He's currently 5 weeks out as of today from the APL Pro in Melbourne. Say hi, Kiva.
Hello, guys.
And we're just essentially discussing the back end of his prep to get him as prepared as possible. We've currently now, as I said, we're 5 weeks out, which means he has 2 more weeks of like quote unquote normal loading. We then go into some last heavies, openers, peak week, and then competition. All right, so I forgot to put on my food for this morning. Now, not that anybody asked whatsoever, but my food is actually pretty fucking basic. I kind of eat the same shit and I'll just change it up when I get a little bit bored of it. So for me, this coming week, I'm going to be having beef stroganoff with pasta for lunches. And then my dinners are actually going to be pizza, slow cooked pizza. So slow cooked chicken, which I'm gonna pop in the slow cooker now, which will be ready to go roughly by this evening. And it's pretty straightforward, pretty fucking easy to meal prep. I put chicken breast, smoky barbecue sauce from Master Foods, a little bit of chicken stock, nothing too crazy. Throw that in there. Splash of chicken stock. Nothing too, I don't really weigh this out. I just, whatever, kind of just go off vibes, you know, just whatever vibes. Nah, normally I would put this on for 10 hours. I don't really have 10 hours, so we're gonna put it on low for 8. It should be fine. I don't know, we'll check it when I come back to it. If I need to keep it on for a little bit longer, I will. But I'm somebody who is not a massive fan of cooking and I get a little bit over it very quickly. So for me, it's about making food that I enjoy, that I'm gonna actually wanna eat every day, but also doesn't take away from then being able to do everything else I wanna do in a day. Also, so that it's not very time consuming. But yeah, so with my food at the moment, you would have clocked it this morning when I was kind of talking about it with relation to my breakfast shake and looking at it from a micronutrient perspective. Now, I'm somebody who's very heavily biased towards looking at the nutritional value of food where I can. Don't get me wrong, I love to fucking, you know, I love a good sweet treat or a snack or a burger with the boys or something like that. But for the most part, for like 90% of the week, I'm incredibly biased towards micronutrient intake. And the reason for this is because yes, technically all calories are equal, technically from a caloric perspective, but from a nutritional perspective and the benefits that they actually have on the body, they can vary quite a fucking lot. All right, let's be realistic. You know, you're not going to get the same amount of fucking nutrients out of 1,000 calories of McDonald's as you are out of 1,000 calories of vegetables. It's just never going to happen. We know that. That's fine. But dinners are going to be slow cooked chicken pizza with, then I'm going to put pineapple, capsicum, spinach, cheese on top. And then lunches are beef stroganoff with pasta. And then I also add some semi-dried tomatoes and cheese to that as well.
Big cheese guy. Love a bit of cheese. So overall, they're like my two main meals, and then obviously the breakfast shake that you saw me consume this morning. And then throughout the course of the day as well, I have a whole bunch of just like snacks and shit like that, from yogurts, and I'm very much a convenience kind of guy, just purely because of time and efficiency. I don't like to fuck around. I don't like to sit here and cook for hours upon hours upon hours on end. So yeah, as long as I'm making things that I enjoy, that are decent, and they tick the boxes from a micronutrient perspective, then I'm a happy boy. Just wrapped up the morning's check-ins. Everyone's doing pretty fucking well at the moment, which has been great to see. A lot of the team are doing some different things. Currently at the moment, I got such a mix of clients, from powerlifting to lifestyle to, I got a client who's going to do 2 separate marathons. One, she's doing the half marathon in Sydney, then she's going to do the Boston Marathon, and then she's doing the marathon in Sydney as well, I believe. And just like, yeah, a lot of really cool things. As you saw, Kiva is 5 weeks out from the APL Pro. I got another couple of powerlifters who are starting to come into their peaks and things like that for their competitions as well. I got a mix between some doing the one on Nexus on the Gold Coast. I've got a client doing Apex. It's in April now. But overall, I got a fucking great mix of clients at the moment. One of my clients, Sammy, she is coming into the back end of what is like a pre-season prep before she gets back into hockey, and then leads the final charge for her last effort for Worlds, going over to Holland. But yeah, I fucking love working with a range of different clients, because not only does it just help to keep my brain ticking over and functioning and all the rest of it, but I just enjoy it. I spent a long time just purely coaching powerlifting, and although I love it and it's fun, it's also very monotonous, and I can probably just program powerlifting in my sleep. But actually getting to utilize my brain just a little bit more and focus on a few different endeavors for people, from running, jumping, all of it really is just fucking interesting and keeps the brain ticking over. And if the brain's ticking over and you're learning and you're progressing along the way, then that is all that matters. So I'm gonna go take King Samuel for a walk now. I'm not gonna bring the camera because it's a bit of a handful to hold whilst also then walking him. But you know what a dog walk looks like, I'd assume, if you're watching this. So check back in. We're back from our walkies now. It's a beautiful fucking day here in Melbourne. It is currently 22. The sun is absolutely cranking. Today's top is going to be 32. So that's going to get pretty warm. The Savo around the track time. And then it stays pretty warm all evening, which has been really interesting. The dynamic shift between like Gold Coast weather to Melbourne weather. I'm not really used to the whole like cold in the morning, hot at night. I'm kind of just used to like wake up and it's just warm all fucking day, and that's about it. So that's been a bit of an adjustment. But the next part of the morning is, for those of you who don't know, I actually co-own a supplement company, IQ Supplements. We only have a pre-workout at the moment, but we are formulating some other products, which you might find out about later. And today is my sort of like content admin day for that. I get in and I try and film the week's worth of content that I need to get done. Today, I've just got a couple of reels to do, so there's nothing too crazy, but trying to keep on top of the content and all of that to just keep pushing sales. At the end of the day, people don't buy what they don't know about. So we need to make sure that we are getting our name and our face out there and getting people to buy our product as much as we can. At the end of the day, we obviously want to make sales, and more sales means that we can actually further increase our inventory of both, stock, flavors, but then also other products as well. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, please feel free to go check it out. It is called Synapse by IQ Supps, iqsupps.net. Yeah, it's a fucking pretty good pre-workout. I am very proud of it. Formulated it myself with the help of Mr. Alex Carson, my business partner. And yeah, but before we rip into that, every single day I get a little daily affirmation in my email from Moon Omens, which is like an Instagram page, and they're essentially more or less around like the spirituality side of things and whatnot. And I like, you know, just getting a little affirmation daily. I got a fair few affirmations that pop up on my phone and things like that, and it just kind of helps to keep an even keel over the course of the day. Normally, I don't really share these with anyone, but I figured I would share today's because I actually quite like it. Now, February 16th, daily affirmation, message to self. Everything that is meant for me is on the other side of the unknown, and I no longer fear the unknown. I choose love over fear. I surrender, trust, and I choose to stay aligned to the vibration of my divinity. Aligned to the infinite abundance of opportunities, I am an infinite being of light and love. Lack is only an illusion. Unconditional love is the answer. Gang, fucking, I love it. I love it. So, gonna rip in, as I said, a couple of content, a couple of reels to make, and then that will be it. And normally I will do my meal prep on a Sunday, but as you saw this morning, I already had to do my slow cooked chicken, and then I will also have to cook my lunches because I just didn't do it yesterday. I had a bunch of other stuff that I ended up getting done, and then by the time I got through the day, it just got away from me. So I will be going down once I finish this content and cooking lunch, eating lunch, and then that will get me starting to prepare for the Arvo track sesh. So let's get it. Content has been filmed. Now I've just got to actually put it together and edit it. Now, I will be 100% honest. I am a fucking rookie when it comes to editing content. If you've seen any of my content. Ooh. Thanks, YouTube. Just let me play my frequency sounds, thank you. Yeah, I'm a bit of a rookie when it comes to editing. Now, that is one thing this year that I definitely said I wanted to get better at. I just hadn't even fucking started trying. So this is part and parcel where the vlog YouTube come from, is I've wanted to do YouTube for a long time, but I've always told myself, oh, you know, then I have to edit it and I have to do this and I have to do that and all the rest of it. And I'm like, fuck man, you know what? At the end of the day, like I can only get better the more I do something. And it was sort of a reoccurring theme for me this year is just to continue to build momentum in the right direction. Now that means trialing shit that I might not be good at, but I can only get better. I can teach myself new skills. I have a lot of time in my day. I have an ability to teach and learn things. I'm quite receptive when it comes to different aspects of things. Like I feel like I'm a pretty cluey kind of guy. So I'm keen as to just try and learn some more tips and tricks, film more, fuck up more, all the rest of it. So I'm going to put together this first reel now for IQ and then see what comes of it, and we'll go from there. But it's just a friendly reminder that if you do suck at something, stop delaying trying, because the more you delay it, you're never going to get any better. Just fucking try. Try, fail, try, fail. It does not matter. As mentioned this morning, we're going to be cooking up beef stroganoff. Pretty straightforward little sort of mix. I use one of these cookers just because they're super easy, and I don't know, I've just always used it. Just makes life easier for me. They heat up quick, they work well, they do the job, they serve their purpose. It's pretty easy to whip up beef stroganoff. I'm not going to run you through the whole fucking process, but it's beef, pasta, a sauce, some sour cream, and then when I actually heat it up before I eat it at lunchtime, I will then add my semi-dried tomatoes, which are just a potassium bomb, and my cheese. So I love cheese. I already mentioned that this morning, but that's fine, just so you know. Also mushroom. I forgot that I had mushroom in it, but mushrooms are really good. This week's pasta of choice, we've gone rigatoni, gang shit, rock the Maggi beef stroganoff. Fucking, I've been having this beef stroganoff by Maggi since I was a child. My mum used to cook this for us all the time. I fucking loved it. I still love it. And yeah, tastes good, ticks boxes. You can add whatever you want to it to make it a little bit healthier. And it just does the fucking job. So at the moment with my food, because I finished up my cuts probably a couple months ago now. Not even a couple months ago, that's a fucking lie. I probably finished my cut like a month ago. The year's gone so fast, but also so slow at the exact same time. And I got down to I was eating around 2,200 calories a day. So I got like small. And I've slowly started to build them back up again. I'm now at, and I've slowly started to build them back up again. I'm now at 3,139 per day, which is 436 grams of carbs, 225 grams of protein, and 55 grams of fat. I used to run a little bit more of a higher fat biased diet, but what I found is with all of the more like quote unquote hybrid style of training, so a lot more running, a lot more like anaerobic energy system bias, I have actually found that the utilization of carbs is helping me out a lot more with an energy perspective. I'm still keeping a decent amount of fats in there, and they're decently good, healthy fats as well. So we're looking more at like poly and monounsaturated fats to ensure that we're keeping all of our good bodily functions doing the thing that we need them to be doing. Hormonal transportation and all the rest of it, reduction of inflammation, things like that. Carbs, pretty high. Well, not high, that's actually quite low, but just in general at the moment with relation to where I'm at post-cut, they're at a decent spot. And then with my protein, I'm sitting around 2.5 grams per kilo of body weight, which is pretty common for me. I prefer to run a higher protein. I've always found I respond to it quite well, especially with the mix of weight training and also just normal like running and all the rest of that as well. But I've always ran higher protein, upwards of that 2.5 grams per kilo of body weight. I couldn't tell you what it is for Freedom Unit users. Sorry guys, you guys are gonna have to go figure that shit out yourself. I don't know, 3 miles per gallon of like Kool-Aid or some shit. But yeah, I just find that works better for me. I feel better on it. I don't feel lethargic or anything like that. I've had a high protein diet for quite a long time and it just works quite well. There you have it. Done. If you don't have glass containers, get yourself glass containers. They are $25 for a 5-pack at Kmart. Fucking outstanding. Much better than plastic. I'm not going to go into the whole BPA kind of shit and microplastics and all the rest of it. Like whatever. You want to be about that, sweet. Glass is just better. Keeps it fresher. I feel like it actually tastes nicer. Could just be me. Meal prep doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be shit. You can enjoy your food. But yeah, time for me to eat. The lighting's probably pretty shit on this. I'll fucking get better with it as we go. We got pre-training meal now. So ate lunch, did a few other things. Most of the time when I finish lunch, I actually utilize that as more of like quote unquote my time. So what I will generally do is just as like a bit of a mental reset before I get back into the afternoon or whatever the next sort of tasks and stuff are, is I'll generally read, do some form of like meditation or breath work or something like that, just to kind of reset for the day. It's just something I found that works really well for me. It may not necessarily work for everyone, but I find that it helps me to just get back on track for the rest of the afternoon, rip back into whatever I need to do, which for right now is eat pre-training. Then I will be going to the track where I will be doing 400 meters on 200 meter floats. And since I'm a fancy boy now and bought a Garmin last week, I will be actually able to track that, which is going to be really cool. So keen to see how that goes, keen to see how the progression goes with being able to track. My pre-training meal is pretty basic. Crumpets, strawberry jam. Sip on coconut water. And then I have that also whilst training pretty much every day. But then I'll also have it post, like, because there'll probably be a little bit of that left over. Before I actually train or like run, on my running days, I have amino energy which is essentially just like electrolytes, amino acids, a bit of caffeine, and some beta-alanine, which for those of you who don't know, names and stuff like that, beta-alanine is basically the thing that makes you get all the little tingles. So I have the equivalent of 150 milligrams of caffeine just before I run. I don't like to crank too much caffeine before running because my heart rate goes a bit too fucking high. But I like to get like a little bit of a buzz because I do have the track sesh, and then I have to go and do, sorry, I don't have to. I get to go and do the bike. So I go 40 minutes on the bike. The track session will take me about 35 to 36 minutes, give or take. So I'm at the track for about 45 minutes or so by the time I do the warm up and everything like that. And then I will go from the track to the gym and I'll do 40 minutes on the bike. And then I will, to be completely honest, I will go down to the beach this afternoon. Straight after that, I'll do my, end of day reflections, journaling, spend a bit of time down there just chilling. And then I will come back. I will walk Samuel again for round 2. And then I have a client inquiry call at 6 p.m. tonight. So once that's done, then I will have my pizzas, downtime, fucking switch off a bit, and go to bed, get ready to start a whole nother day. But I've rocked up to the track, and of course, there's a fucking school carnival. Lucky, this place is like, it's fairly fucking big. Casey Fields is like quite a big sort of sporting area. There's quite a lot of other sort of places around. Like I'm sitting in front of apparently what is the Melbourne City FC Academy. So soccer, which cool. There's a massive dog park. So we're kind of just going to need to improvise a little bit. I guess the best thing about having the watch is that it's going to be able to track the distance for me. And I'm just going to kind of need to keep it as close to as I possibly can. We'll just have to see. We'll see what comes of it. All right, so the plan of attack is we're still going to run the same workout. I'm going to try and stick to just footpaths as much as I can. We'll see how we go. But first things first, going to do a K warm-up, get the body ticking over, the legs moving, and then I'll go into a couple of light warm-up drills, and then we'll go start the efforts, and I'll probably just try and find like a repetitive circuit that I can just do. It seems like there's a footpath pretty much the whole way around this thing, which might be perfect. And is it exactly what I wanted to do today? No, I was really looking forward to being able to do my second track session. But improvise, adapt, overcome. Warm up done, about 4:38. I figured out a rough kilometer path, which is essentially, it's not going to be great because there's a lot of sharp turns and I'd have to turn around at one point. So I'm going to trial pretty much just running around maybe what looks like the car park of this place and just kind of seeing what happens there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only like my second week doing these 400 floats. So realistically speaking, I don't expect it to be perfect. But what I do expect is like to actually be able to have a crack. But yeah, so we'll see what comes of it. 6 rounds. Just got to do a couple of warm-up things first. Just make sure the ankles are feeling good, and then we're going to get into it. I forgot to film at the back end of the track. It didn't feel great. It didn't feel bad. It was odd. It was like dirt track and like a mix of dirt, fucking road crossings, and like weird footpath to asphalt to like on the actual road itself. So was it perfect? No. Did I get it done? Yes. Stats wise, it was like a 4:30 average. So 6 rounds, not too unhappy about that. Again, second week doing them. I was able to do 6 rounds this week instead of 4 from last week. And yeah, now I'm at the gym to do the bike. Just going to do a bit of a flush / zone 2 work and then out over to the beach. It's fucking pizza time. Look at that. And then capsicum there. Now, if you're a hater, you might think pineapple doesn't go on pizza, but you would also happen to be wrong. So this is a smoky barbecue chicken, pineapple, pizza, fucking mint. Nope, they've got to find a right spot. Perfect. This is home. It ain't much, Amy, but it's honest work, isn't it? Let's go. It genuinely blows my mind that it is still this sunny and this warm at 6:45 at night. Now the sun doesn't set here until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I know everybody keeps telling me, oh, you're going to be in for a shock for winter. I know it's going to be fucking cold in winter and it's going to dark and it's definitely not going to stay this light or sunny through winter. I know, but I accepted that when I moved here, and here we are anyway. Here we are, still yet to fully work out why we're here, but I guess with time, all things come to light. And I mean, in the meantime, it ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna wrap up the day in the life there. I'm gonna go home, edit this video, or start editing, and I don't know, hopefully it's up by next week. You won't know until it's uploaded. I'm gonna try and make these somewhat consistent. Not all of them are gonna be a day in the life. Hopefully bring some value or just something for people to watch while they eat their food, which is pretty much all I use YouTube for as it stands at the moment. Sammy and me clocking off